The yearly gatherings of the National Football League commenced over the weekend, with the new head coach making a striking impression on the opening day while seated next to a familiar adversary. The offseason is never truly complete without a flurry of speculation, leading to inquiries about the possibility of acquiring a wide receiver from the Dolphins. This video will explore these topics and more. To begin, let's dive into the annual meetings and the insights drawn from them. Key personalities were in attendance, alongside numerous members of the media who engaged in discussions covering various subjects. Several captivating insights emerged from these discussions. There were mentions of a former quarterback making a return to the team. His acquisition was pivotal in uniting the roster, and there is a profound respect for his journey. The player carries a rich history that is of paramount importance, as it provides a solid foundation to rely upon. He is an outstanding worker who has shown remarkable development throughout his career, facing and overcoming various hurdles. His competitive nature and dedication are widely admired. He truly invests himself fully. Moreover, he is a strong leader, influencing his teammates through his approach to the game. His exceptional talent is evident, and having been away for nearly 6 years, he has managed to sidestep the typical wear and tear associated with the game. This is why he exhibits impressive agility and speed. His commitment to grasping the intricacies of the sport has been genuinely notable, as he treats each day as if it represents the next play. During those 6 years, the lack of physical strain accounts for the fluidity in his movements. He continues to demonstrate remarkable speed, approaching the game in an extraordinary manner. He has managed to break it down play by play, viewing each moment as a fresh opportunity. Observations were made for 4 consecutive years while he was sidelined, and he consistently maintained an impressive level of focus. So, when he finally stepped onto the field, the results were clear. He has celebrated 3 successful seasons, exhibiting high completion percentages and demonstrating resilience and strength. The team is fortunate to count him among its ranks. Additionally, there is a shared belief that the team made strides during the initial phase of free agency. There is excitement surrounding the new players joining the secondary and linebackers. When inquired about the prospects of a new contract for the returning quarterback, it was highlighted that negotiations are currently taking place. It is widely recognized that there is great esteem for this player, which was a pivotal element in the decision to trade for him early in the offseason. This move has proven beneficial, particularly given the pressing need for that role. Now, the focus can transition without concerns about the quarterback position in free agency, as various other parts of the team have been addressed, especially on defense. Although there have not been numerous offensive signings aside from one offensive lineman and another addition, the majority of enhancements have been directed at bolstering the defensive unit following the departure of several key players. Many newcomers arrive with a significant motivation to prove themselves, and there is palpable enthusiasm regarding their potential impact. These players are ready to enter the season eager to demonstrate their abilities, and it is understood that there is an expertise in maximizing the potential of athletes, particularly those who have not had full opportunities elsewhere and who possess a strong drive to showcase their skills. Most individuals on this roster certainly embody that profile. To exemplify a concept, one remarkable characteristic of a certain head coach is his outstanding knack for unlocking the potential of players, especially those who might not have been adequately utilized in past settings and athletes who clearly have a point to prove. Numerous individuals on the current roster exhibit considerable potential, and most of them join the team under fairly favorable contracts, which benefits the organization as a whole. Lately, the name of a specific quarterback has been circulating frequently, prompting inquiries about his present situation and the latest updates. It has been indicated that the coaching staff is proactively addressing this issue, suggesting that both the team and the quarterback are engaged in discussions and working towards a mutually agreeable arrangement. Reports have suggested that the eventual outcome hinges on the specifics of the contract extension and the guarantees tied to it. There is optimism that a resolution will be reached shortly, permitting the quarterback to display his talents to the fan base without the looming pressure of the upcoming draft. With all the chatter surrounding this player, It is apparent that he is expected to be the foremost option moving ahead, although it does not imply that the organization will refrain from exploring possibilities in the draft for a potential successor, someone who could step in and compete. Recent insights have echoed that the coaching staff is receptive to the possibility of selecting a quarterback in the NFL draft, even if not in the first round. This openness to assess the available candidates during the draft underscores the understanding that the organization is actively on the lookout to draft a quarterback. If they fail to secure one in the first round, especially with the strong interest in a certain prospect likely to be available at the sixth pick, there remain multiple plausible alternatives for the team regarding quarterbacks that might be considered. This particular prospect has been attracting notable attention, and there is a belief that he could be the optimal choice if he remains available at the sixth pick. Furthermore, there are several other viable options for the team to mull over related to quarterbacks that could be selected. It is estimated that around 6 quarterbacks merit pursuit. These have been grouped into varying tiers and rounds, indicating where the team might find the opportunity to select these players. Naturally, with the 6th overall pick in the first round, this standout prospect is regarded as the leading candidate. If he is still available, the choice to draft him will be made swiftly, irrespective of external opinions. He would be an excellent quarterback to support another player. However, if he is unavailable, which many expect, another name could still be an option. While choosing this individual at number 6 might be considered a stretch, if the team holds significant interest in him, he could take many by surprise with his selection. There would be a sense of assurance if the organization opted to trade back in the first round or even trade up to secure this target. In the second round, a quarterback who would be an exciting addition is another prospect who has previously met with the team, with reports indicating that the organization is quite intrigued by him. There has been a belief that he would thrive in a specific offensive scheme, making him an excellent candidate to learn under the mentorship of an experienced player for several years, adapting to the professional level and ultimately emerging as a dynamic quarterback from his draft class. He simply needs to polish certain facets of his game, such as precision and poise in the pocket. Beyond that, he possesses the skills essential for success at the professional level, and the second round could offer an excellent opportunity for the organization should they choose to pursue that route. Additionally, there are 3 more quarterbacks being evaluated who might potentially drop down the draft board. Now, let's discuss a different player, specifically a former member of the team, Hunter Renfrow. I've mentioned Hunter Renfrow in a previous video, or perhaps 2, regarding the possibility of his return to the team after a meeting with the organization. SBYC was questioned about him, and here's what he commented. "We were just talking and seeing how he was. I say that he's in a good phase right now and wants to continue his career. Ignoring this would be a mistake." One thing I can highlight about this new management is that they are carefully assessing and keeping their options open for every possibility at each position. Of course, Hunter Renfrow, who last played for the team and has been absent since then, is undeniably a viable option for this team, and I've mentioned that before. What I say about this new management is that they're carefully considering all possibilities at every position. Hunter Renfrow, who last played for the team and is absent since then, is certainly an option to consider. I mentioned before that he would be an ideal receiver for the 3rd or 4th position in this group, especially as a player who could effectively play in the slot. However, these comments don't reveal much, and there is still uncertainty about whether they will truly go after him. It seems likely that the team will wait until after the draft to assess their options, deciding between targeting Tyler Lockett, re-signing Hunter Renfrow, or exploring other experienced receivers who may still be available after the draft. They seem focused on addressing their needs as they arise. As for Hunter Renfrow, I really hope they consider re-signing him because I'm confident he would be a great addition to the team, and I doubt it would require a large investment from the organization. Now, another receiver worth considering, as we've discussed several throughout the offseason, comes to light. We've analyzed various options ranging from DK Metcalf to Alec Pierce, and even names like Amari Cooper and George Pickens have emerged. However, one name recently mentioned is Tyreek Hill. The team is clearly in need of a receiver and may contemplate acquiring Tyreek Hill from the Miami Dolphins, who's been associated with trade rumors for the upcoming 2024 season. After a recent tweet containing an enigmatic message, NFL Network's Adam Rank hinted at a specific team in the AFC West division, which is why this subject is being discussed now. Even though he had a year below expectations with 959 receiving yards, largely due to quarterback injuries, his age and current contract situation could make him a viable and affordable option for the Las Vegas Raiders. Before anyone dismisses this idea as absurd, I'm merely presenting hypothetical scenarios, and the team has been included in this conversation. Given the team's pressing need for reinforcements at the receiver position, it's natural to consider any receiver who might be of interest to the team. It may seem like I'm just rambling, but I'm referring to hypothetical scenarios, and in this context, the team truly needs support at the receiver position. It's clear that the lack of reinforcement in that area is urgent, and I'll naturally discuss any receiver who might be available. Regarding an athlete who stands out, I would certainly consider him a valuable addition to the group. I believe that, even at 31 years old, he could bring an immediate improvement by acting as the primary receiver and become a deep threat on the offense, complementing the quarterback's powerful arm. However, the question that arises is, what would the cost be for the team to acquire a player of this caliber? That depends on the decisions the current team will make. They might choose to keep him or release him. Considering recent signals and the athlete's noticeable frustration, there's a chance he might be released to seek a new team according to his preference. If release isn't viable, the alternative would be a trade. In this scenario, the current team would likely ask for a considerable return. I'm not sure if the team would be willing to meet those demands. Certainly, the current team could ask for at least a second-round pick, possibly multiple second-round selections, or even a first-round pick, depending on the team willing to part with so much. With such a value, I'd be inclined to reconsider the idea of acquiring him, despite my enthusiasm about having him on the team. I wouldn't want to overspend, especially considering he might seek a more lucrative contract. To be entirely honest, even though the prospect of a player with skills similar to a renowned athlete excites me, especially when contemplating his potential offensive contribution, particularly with reinforcements that could be acquired in the draft, I'm skeptical about the team's willingness to consider such a move. Moreover, we already have a receiver on our roster with skills that resemble his, though not exactly on the same level. Another athlete also brings speed and presents a threat in deep plays. Therefore, it might not be strictly necessary to pursue a player with this specific profile. Currently, my most plausible options would be to focus on another competent receiver or explore different alternatives. There are some viable possibilities I consider interesting that wouldn't require a substantial financial investment. So, I'd like to analyze this situation and share my perspective on the chance of acquiring a player with these characteristics. Also, I'm interested in hearing what you think about this. Would you see value in acquiring a player of this caliber? What would you be willing to offer to secure such an impactful athlete? Share your opinions in the comments and stay tuned for updates. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The buzz around Patrick Surtain, too, potentially joining the Las Vegas Raiders has been building steadily, and it's hard to ignore the excitement surrounding this rumor. Imagine one of the NFL's brightest cornerbacks, fresh off a stellar season with the Denver Broncos, donning the silver and black. Could this be the move that shifts the balance of power in the AFC West? Raider Nation has reason to be intrigued by what Surtain could bring to their defense. But how realistic is this move, and what would it mean for the Raiders? Surtain's rise to stardom has been nothing short of remarkable. After being drafted 9th overall by the Broncos in 2021, he quickly cemented himself as one of the league's top cornerbacks. The 2024 season saw him earn Pro Bowl honors and become the highest-paid defensive back in NFL history, securing a 4-year, $96 million contract extension. His performance on the field has been consistently elite, highlighted by his ability to shut down top receivers, rack up interceptions, and make game-changing plays like his 100-yard pick six against the Raiders. His exceptional skills would be an immediate boost for any team, and the Raiders are certainly among those watching closely. But how does a player of Certain's caliber become available? With the Broncos locking him into a long-term deal, many fans were left wondering whether a trade could even be possible. However, with the Raiders' aggressive pursuit of top-tier talent in recent years, it's not out of the question that they could strike a deal. The Raiders have been rebuilding their defense, and acquiring Certain could be the key piece they need to finally compete with the heavyweights in their division, like the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chargers. The Raiders' defense has seen its ups and downs over the years, but adding Certain would be a game-changer. His ability to shut down elite receivers, his experience in high-pressure games, and his leadership would instantly elevate the secondary. Pairing him with young stars like Nate Hobbs and Trayvon Moehrig could create one of the most formidable defensive backfields in the NFL. The idea of Certain in a Raiders uniform is tantalizing for fans who have longed for a dominant defensive presence. Of course, there's a lot of speculation and a long way to go before any official move is made. But the possibility of Patrick Surtain II joining the Las Vegas Raiders is something that every football fan should keep an eye on. If the Raiders can pull off a trade for Certain, it would not only reshape their defense, but also send a message to the entire league that they are all in on building a championship contender. The next few months could very well determine if the Raiders' dream of landing one of the NFL's best cornerbacks becomes a reality. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.